try of this. Yeah.
Wow.
Martin, are we good, sir?
Fantastic, isn't it? You
Yeah.
know, I can't believe it's the afternoon already.
I know it's flown by us today. It really has.
We've had a ball, haven't we, so far?
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Nobody's left early, which is always a good sign. Oh,
We're doing
yeah.
Spice Up Your Life and Let the Colour Shine.
Yeah, this is
Wow.
going to... one of the dishes is a curry, but we're also we're making a bhaji, we're making something called a carrot halwa, which is amazing, which I was not expecting to taste as nice as it does. And yeah, we're going to have a bit of fun with it, so we're going to spice up your life. So first things first, Martin. So I think we're going to make an onion bhaji. Okay,
Wow.
so I've got some onions. I've kept the root on, cut straight down the middle, and then take that off, and then just slice nice and thin, like so. And what we're going to do with these onions is we're going to make our bhaji. So what we want to do, the first thing we want to do, is get them into a big bowl. And the reason we want them in a big bowl is it's good for mixing it. And what we want to do is get them braked so they start thinking about releasing the juice, and that's actually what I want to happen. So they are there. Then we've got some cumin seed. We've got some chili, little bit, not too much, easy on the chili. We've got some curry leaves. When I take the lid off, pop some of those in. We've got, where has it gone? That. Yeah, a bit of turmeric. And then we're going to smash all this up.
So I guess onions are probably one of the kitchen staples, like potatoes and that, you know, it sort of always have onions
Always
in your
onions.
cupboard.
And I'm not an Indian expert, but everything seems to have onions in it. You know, they start off with the onions. And I think doing something like this as a bhaji, what I like is the fact that you've got a curry, you've got a bhaji, you've got a bit of rice, and it's all coming together and it's a bit of fun. So we're just grinding it with our spice grinder. This is the best £5 I ever spent in Oxfam. I used to have a grinder that wasn't very good, and this one is a beaut. Right. Okay. So that's going in. I'm going to add a little bit garam masala. And then I'm just going to let that sit for a minute. I've got gram flour. And I've got rice flour. And the rice flour, which you can buy in like Asian supermarkets, places like that. I think this particular one, came from Morrison's. So you can buy it anywhere. We're just going to bring the whole dish together with a little bit of salt.
So onions are something that most people try to grow somewhere in the garden. And I've a little tip, even if you haven't got time or a lot of space. When you go to supermarkets, garden centres, nurseries, you find that at the end of the season, whether it's autumn or in spring, when the onion sets are too late to plant, but they're selling the nets off for 50 pence. And what I do is I buy a couple of nets of onion sets, and I'd stick them in a pot close together, about ½ an inch apart. There's some big pots, you can do it in small pots, they're easier to move around. And I just start them off like this. And then when you want an onion in the kitchen, rather than just going out and digging them all up, you just pull one out like this. Strip all the bottom off like this. And you've got, surprisingly, an onion. And these can be used for anything, for salads, for cooking. Just because you haven't grown it into be a big bulb doesn't mean you can't eat it.
Oh, wow.
And these, because they're so cheap, I usually have a pot of these on the windowsill. I give some to my neighbour, George, and he has them on his windowsill outside when he goes in on lunchtime to make his cheese sandwich. Pulls one of these out, chops it up, whacks it in the sandwich, cheese and onion sandwich. And they've cost 50p for about 50. So think about these things when you're shopping, and if you come across a net of onion sets, grab one for 50p.
That sounds like a really good tip, that sounds, we all like a bargain, don't we? It sounds good. Okay, folks, so my bhajis are sat there. I've got here some basmati rice. I've been working with Gallo. You know the rice people, Gallo? They sell in Morrison's and places like that. You see it's like a box with a cockerel's head on. And so I've got some cold water. And all I'm going to do with the basmati is cook it so it's just a finger's width from the top of the rice. The rice, I've washed it once. That's all I've done. I used to work with a chap, and he told me about this trick, and it works every time. So a finger's width from the top of the rice, and you shouldn't have a problem. Right, so we're going to pop a lid onto that. And as we haven't got one, we're going to improvise. And with our pan here, we're going to make some curry. So we've got curry, rice, and the bhaji. That's the plan. All right, so we're going to pop some Yorkshire's finest rapeseed oil. They're here today on stand 13. Unlucky for some, but not for them. And we're going to fry off our onion. And into that onion, we're going to add some garlic, chili, and ginger. Right. Love a bit of curry, me.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
You know, garlic's easy to grow in the garden, and I find it's better if it's planted in autumn. I normally get my onion bulb. Well, it's a collection of cloves, little individual cloves of garlic. And I buy them from a local nursery in autumn and plant them out straight away, get them in the ground. And some of the basic things that I get asked are, do you plant the whole bulb? Well, no, you plant each individual segment. So although you get it as a bulb, like a garlic bulb, you actually break their cloves off, plant them individually about 6 to 8 inches apart in a row, about 3 inches deep, and leave them. And I've got them in a fairly sheltered spot next to the greenhouse, and they're about this big now, and we won't harvest them till June, July. When the foliage starts to yellow, then you can lift them, and you'll have, hopefully, decent-sized garlics. You've never seen them again? Oh, sounds like something suspicious is going on there.
What's that? Disappearing garlic?
Frost won't kill a garlic. It'll be the soil that's been too wet. Could have been very wet or just struggled. A tip with that, if you're struggling to get things started, my belief is, particularly in the early stages of learning gardening, start things off in a pot. So if you've got bedding plants from last year, you've got these cell pots, cell trays, fill them with compost and push your garlic clove so you can still see the top, push it into the compost as far as you can. Stick them in a cold greenhouse, don't need any protection, and they'll start to grow a green shoot. If they're starting a green shoot, they'll be starting to root. And leave them until the shoots get to about 2 or 3 inches high, and then you can plant them straight out from that. So often you find that if your soil conditions, if it's a bit cold or unpredictable, the weather, if you're not used to growing garlic or it's something new to you, start them off as young plants. Same with onion sets. I start all my onion sets in little cell trays before I plant them out, because the birds have a habit of pulling them out of the ground. The trick with birds, if you're going to plant them outside, you can't be bothered with potting them up. A little whisker on the top of an onion set, like the top of the onion set, trim that off with a pair of scissors. What a bird is doing, it's not after the onion, it's after that bit of straw that looks like nesting material. And that's why it pulls it out, sees an onion and drops it, but it's no good for a nest. So that's all it is, that strawy bit on top of the onion. So trim that off before you plant them out, or grow them in, start them off in pots.
Okay, Martin, so while you've been talking, I've just fried off the onion. We've added chopped ginger, garlic, chili, and as you can see, my rice is nearly coming up to the boil. What we're going to do with our base, we're going to add some garam masala. And then we're going to add some chicken thighs, okay? All I've done is dice those up. Remove any bone, any sinew, any fat, and just dice those up. And get those frying off. And one thing that Mohammed Aslam from the famous curry guru said to me is a lot of people burn their spices, actually burn them. So don't be afraid of putting the oil in there, because the oil can lift off, but the spices, you don't want to burn them. You want to roast them. So that's what we're doing. So into our curry, we're going to add some tomatoes. And we've ground up a little bit of coriander seed and fenugreek seed as well. Meanwhile, the water is coming out of the onion, which is what I want it to do. So hopefully you're going to have an onion bhaji with a bit of chicken curry, with a bit of basmati, and then a dessert that hopefully is going to mess with your head, because it certainly messed with mine the first time I heard it. I suppose, Martin, we all have carrot cake, don't we?
Yeah.
But this is carrot with condensed milk.
Oh.
Which sounds revolting to me, but tastes really good. Right.
So everybody grow tomatoes? Have you got your plants in yet? Have you sown your seed too early? Tomatoes are a great crop. I love them fresh off the vine. And one of the challenges is how many do you grow? Well, I only grow one side of the greenhouse. But what I also do is I grow them at different stages. So when my tomatoes start to grow and they produce side shoots, let the side shoots get to about 3 inches long, the first set of side shoots, snap them off, put them around the edge of a pot of compost. They'll root in about 7 to 10 days. Split them up, put them in a little pot, grow them in a 5-inch pot. When they produce one set of flowers, pinch the top out and just let them concentrate on producing one truss of fruit. It's a great way of getting free tomatoes, and you can grow them in a slightly smaller space, you can grow them on the patio, and it's just a way of using the side shoots up. You can root a side shoot, as I say, in 7 days, and literally within 2 or 3 weeks you'll have flowers on and you'll have fruit in 6 or 7 weeks. So you're just spreading the crop out, as I say, and then those that you don't want, obviously, side shoots off in the bin, compost heap, but propagate a few and have a few small plants for your patio for when you're barbecuing with one truss of tomatoes on. Feed them the same way as you would.
Don't do what I did and spend about 40 quid buying everything to grow tomatoes and end up with 2. But they did taste nice. Okay, folks, so now what we've done with that, I've just added a tiny bit of salt to our bhaji mix, and I hope you're going to grab a recipe when you leave. We've got a few more around the back if we run out. we're just going to fashion it into a ball shape for our bhajis and get those in the fryer. If I was to leave this in the fridge for an hour with a cling film on, it would get wetter and better, and sort of benefit from having an hour in the fridge, to be honest. We're almost there. I'd like it to be a tiny bit wetter. It's just a little bit crumbly. Okay. So to go with our bhaji, we're going to do a raita dip. So let's just have a look. You know what I've not put in there? Bicarbonate of soda. I'm looking at them thinking,
Why aren't they puffing up?
Martin. Oh,
I apologise, Chef. I
yeah.
should have
If
reminded you.
we're gonna make a mistake, make a good one.
Hey.
Right. Okay. But they look all right. They're going to be okay. So into our onion bhajis, a pinch of soda, bicarbonate of soda. Okay, folks. So our curry is stewing down nicely, and that's working its magic. So we're going to add some water and get that bubbling away. And we're going to add some coconut milk. But then there's the dessert. Right, let's have a look. Bhajis, they're getting there. Our raita. So I've got here some yogurt, just plain yogurt.
Yep.
I'm going to add some cucumber, but I'm going to cut the middle out, because those seeds in the middle will make my yogurt very wet. I'm just going to chop those up. And I've got here some chopped fresh mint. Have you got any more mint, Martin? Just a tiny
mint?
bit of mint.
Yeah, sure.
Any kind of mint. Sounds good?
Yep.
Just a little bit. So we've got in here our mint. Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Mint, cucumber, yogurt. A tiny, tiny dusting of garam masala, just a touch.
You know, when you're growing cucumbers at home and you get them on the plant, a great big long cucumber, you think we're going to have that, so you cut the cucumber off, have about half of it, pop it in the fridge, maybe have a little bit more later. Do you ever finish a cucumber? You always end up throwing something away.
Yeah.
Tip.
Yeah, it goes soggy at the end.
Tip with a cucumber. Go in the greenhouse. If you want a quarter of a cucumber, cut a quarter off a cucumber.
What, and leave it on the stem?
Leave it on the plant, and that will dry and seal over. So the following day, when you want a cucumber, you go in and take a quarter off. You'll have to trim the dry bit off. Take a quarter off and leave the rest of it on. Only till you get down to the last third of the cucumber do you harvest it completely. It will stay on the plant and stay fresher than it will in the fridge.
Wow.
You just cut a section off the cucumber.
That is
don't you?
really clever. That is really clever.
No, I'm going to have to shoot you all now, I've told you that. It's top secret.
Is it really? Oh,
Yes,
right, okay.
the Cucumber Federation said, don't you dare tell them. But yeah, it works. Just cut a piece off the cucumber, leave the rest of it on the plant.
Fantastic. Right, so we're barging up now. We're going for it. We'll make a few more in a bit. Right, so with our bhajis, our raita, my rice is nearly ready and my curry's nowhere ready. So I'm going to do something now, folks. I'm going to take the rice off. You'll notice I didn't stir the rice. I didn't mess with the rice. Look what's happening. It's It's light and fluffy. It's not all stuck together like a nightmare. And that's how you make good rice. That's cooked. I'm just going to let that sit there because I want to get this cooking down a bit. So we'll just crank this up. Okay. I'm not quite sure how to do this. Right, there we go. Okay. So while my 2 pans are bubbling away here, I'm going to have another pan going with something that is a little bit wacky and a little bit different. We're going to make a carrot dessert.
Carrot dessert.
Sounds horrendous to me, this, but it does taste good. So, a frying pan, nice hot pan. Into our frying pan, we're going to add some butter. We're going to use our grinder again. Now, this is where I have to clean it properly, otherwise it'll taste like curry.
Curried carrots.
Yeah, we're okay. And we're going to use cardamom. Now, cardamom with carrot is really lovely. So I'm going to use a few. So what you do is you don't want the shell, you just want the pod and the little seeds in the middle. So I don't know, Andy, if you can see in there, that's what we want. We want those seeds that we're grinding into an absolute powder, and the shell, the pods are all left outside. Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm just keeping going because there's quite a few of you, so I might as well keep going. Yeah, just keep rolling. So we're going to pop our cardamom into our pot. We're going to add some cashew nuts. And then we've got our carrot. Now what we've done with our carrot is quite simply grated it. So all I've done is I've grated this carrot into my tray.
I didn't realise it was such a versatile veg carrot, so it's
Well-
can do a dessert or a cake or
Yeah,
all
I mean,
sorts
you
of
would
things.
think, I suppose, curry, carrot. This with the we're going to use something that is a secret weapon. Lordy, is this stuff rich? But that is, wow, that's naughty. That absolutely naughty.
My granddad used to make sandwiches with condensed milk. He used to just spread
Oh, really?
condensed milk in a sandwich. Anybody else had that? Look at that. See, Steph, there's a few people have it. Condensed milk sandwiches.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That takes you back. You must be at least 15 then.
Oh. Now, what I want to do, Martin, is I want to serve my carrot halwa in a tuile, in a basically it's like a biscuit. Now, the recipe is down on your chairs over there, but I've actually made this because I'm very conscious there's only so long you want to sit before you want to go and buy one of my mates. Give us a wave, guys. The Gourmet Scotch Egg Company. He's there, he's on his phone, he's not listening. There you go. Have you got any Scotch eggs left? Sold out. Really?
So
I was going to give you a plug there, and I should have saved it for somebody else. Not a Scotch egg left. Wow. Okay, guys, so don't try and buy a Scotch egg, because you've absolutely had it. You'll have to come back tomorrow and get a Scotch egg.
Or have a pie.
Or a pie. Have a pie.
Yeah.
Vokes's pies,
Vokes's.
amazing pies.
Yorkshire Pie Company.
Yep.
Bottle
or
of
crusty
beer.
pie.
Pie and a pint.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
Fantastic.
biscuit. The recipe is down there. All I've done is I've melted some butter. I've added some. Here you go, Martin. I'm going to set you off making one of them. Pop those in there.
Oh.
Go on, have a go.
let me
Have
wash
a go.
Just give
Quick
me a-
wash of the hands. Yeah, melted butter, egg white, sugar off with this. So, here we go. We've got it in a round circle. Now we're going to bring it out because what we want to do, we're at the flower show, we want a nice flower shape. Now that doesn't look like a flower, I'll grant you that, but it will do in a minute. So and all we're going to do now is we're going to take some chopped pistachios and sprinkle them on there, okay? That's going in the oven. Yeah, that's done, that's done. Oh, actually, I'd need that one. Yeah. And our carrot, if you notice, we're not adding this condensed milk just yet. What I'm doing is I'm sweating it off in the pan until it doesn't smell like carrot, okay? Because we want to get rid of that raw carrot smell. This particular dish, if you make this 100% traditionally, it will take you about 3 hours to do, and you cook it down and down and down, and it takes a long time. But for me, I've probably got about another 8 to 10 minutes to do everything. So we're going to crack on. So we've got here some sultanas. They're going to go in as well. Meanwhile, my biscuit is cooking.
I've just made one massive one, Chef, for me.
Look
I
at
haven't.
them. Look at that. He's done a good job there. He's done a good job.
Shucks.
Respect, respect. Right, so now, Martin, this next job, I'm going to get you doing another job.
Oh,
So you're gonna grind a few of these for a few seconds, and then you're gonna hopefully, we don't want the green pod, we want the
Right.
black seed.
it's the black seed sauce.
So just a bit of a,
I like bashing first.
yeah, light bash, then a bit of a
I
grind
can do a
round.
light bash. Oof, gosh, it's heavy.
Got here some ground cinnamon. That's going in. All right, how are we doing, Chef? Yeah. Now you've just got to pick.
All right, just
You
get
see
there.
what I'm doing?
Ooh.
Like, get rid of. I don't want that. I
All
just
right.
want, yeah.
Oh, just want the seeds. Fantastic. We'll do it.
Right.
That's good.
Meanwhile, I'm going to get told off when we go backstage. Be like, Steph, I'm not supposed to do any cooking.
Yes. Have a word with my agent.
Yeah, yeah.
She's around somewhere.
He's on about Sue.
I'll be in trouble.
Yeah, you will. Okay, so now I'm fairly happy that the carrot does not smell like carrot. So I'm going to pour in some condensed milk
Oh, yeah.
and a little bit of ordinary milk.
It's a green.
How's it going, sir?
We've got all the green bits out.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Now, Martin, now what you got to do is you
Bash
got to
'em.
not bash it. You do that more. You,
Massage.
yeah, massage. Give it a massage.
I don't know what it means.
I've just realised our oven's on 20 degrees.
Yeah.
I've just cranked it up to 300.
It'll be all
That
right for
should fix
germinating
it.
my tomatoes. We're at 20 degrees.
I thought, I wonder why it's not going golden brown. That's probably why. Unlike these, they're looking good. So our onion bhajis are ready.
How are we doing, Chef? Do you need these just rolling around?
Yeah,
don't
that's it. And then we're going to pop that in
Is
here.
that right?
So this is my cardamom creme
Oh.
fraiche,
Look at that.
which is going to go on top of the carrot.
I've just found another profession.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm impressed, Martin. I'm impressed.
have a go.
Right, our curry is almost there. We're nearly there. It's just taking its time, this. I think two big pans on here is not a good idea. Right. Carrot's about ready. So we'll finish off our bhajis. So we've got the bhaji there. So our Greek yogurt, all we're doing is we're mixing it with a bit of garam masala, a little bit of the chopped cucumber, a little bit of fresh mint, and it becomes a mint raita dip. So the idea being, folks, when you grab a bhaji in a minute, you take a little bit of that. Do you think I can get any more in that dough? No, I think we're going to have our bhaji with our mint dip.
This is a bit off the wall, Chef.
What have you got there?
You know, lamb's lettuce.
Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Just a bit of a different, fresh taste, isn't it? It's just...
I love it. So, beautiful. That looks sensational. Right. You know what? You get lamb's lettuce and you buy it in a supermarket and it's in a punnet and there's hundreds and they're squashed and that's just like, wow, looks amazing. Right. My, it's really not, it's not loving it, this. I might have to improvise. We may have to improv our dessert. It's nowhere near brown yet. Okay, so...
Shall I go get a packet of biscuits?
Don't worry, we'll improvise, we'll improvise. So, our basmati. So there again, we want light, fluffy basmati that doesn't stick together. I'm happy with that. And no moisture left in the tin, that's what we want. Completely, that's the way to cook rice. Okay. So now we're going to push these right to the outside. Our curry.
Got any coriander?
It's a little, you know what, when I did this, I think the thing I did wrong was I poured all the water in. I think I put too much water in it. But you live and learn, don't you? You live and learn. In spite of that, it does taste nice. Needs a bit of salt, wherever it's gone. Here we go. Carrot is cooked. Biscuit nowhere near. Let's just have a quick taste. I do like this stuff. You wouldn't want a lot of it. It's very rich. But it does taste great. Guys, I'm going to have to improvise because my tuile is not ready. A blue-shaped tuile. Okay, so for our carrot dessert, hopefully we can get our tuile ready for when we finish. But let's garnish up. What have you got there, sir? What's that?
That's a pea flower.
It's beautiful.
Often I get asked about plants and what you can eat. If it's a vegetable, generally you can eat everything. Beetroot, you can eat the leaves of beetroot plants. Peas, you can eat the shoots. the flowers and the pods. So have a go at them all. They all have slightly different subtle tastes. Same with brassicas. If your brassica cauliflower runs to seed, starts to flower yellow, don't panic, just use the flowers. Use them in a salad, chop them and put them in a salad. Don't just let them run to seed and throw them on the compost heap. When something starts to flower, if you gather the flowers fresh on things like brassicas, you can eat them just like you can anything else. Bob them in a salad or bob them in a stir fry. Same with young plants, young seedlings. If I've grown too many cabbages or cauliflowers or Brussels sprouts, the younger plants, I just snap them off at the stem, set them in the kitchen, and they either go into a stir fry or you just wilt them down. So don't throw them away, you can eat them. They are, after all, a cabbage from day one.
Now, what's your opinion of sweet Sicily?
I
like it.
Yeah, it's quite a nice,
aniseed, isn't it?
acquired taste. Yes, it's not unlike fennel, really, is it?
Yeah, no, very much so. Guys, my biscuit, I've cranked it up to like 200. It's thinking about it. I'll leave it. If you hang around 5 minutes, you'll see it. But let's just recap what we've done. So we've done our onion bhaji with the cucumber mint raita dip. We've done our chicken curry with the basmati rice and our carrot halwa with a gorgeous cashew tuile that's about to arrive. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Martin.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you for your assistance.
It's a pleasure.
Please come on up. If you'd like to have a taste or a try, please come on up. We've got some spoons here.
And the menus are on their chairs at either end if you want to take a menu sheet away.